You know, when you finally close on a house, they shake your hand, they give you this big smile, and they say congratulations. But here's the thing. That price tag you just agreed to, that is the very first lie in a long, and I mean very long and expensive deception. So this is the number, right? $500,000. It's the number you see on the listing, it's what you tell your friends, it's the number you celebrate as they hand over the keys. You think you've just bought a home for $500,000. But let's really dig into what just happened. Because here's the cold, hard truth of that transaction. You haven't really bought an asset, not in the way you think. Not yet, anyway. What you've actually done is you've signed up for a massive, multi-decade liability. You've bought a debt.
So what's the real number? Well, if you sign a totally standard 30-year mortgage at, say, a 7% interest rate, that $500,000 house is actually going to cost you $1.2 million. Yeah, that extra $700,000, that is a robbery happening in slow motion.
Okay, so how on earth do they do it? How does this happen right out in the open, right under our noses? Well, it happens with a financial weapon that sounds so incredibly boring, you're basically designed to just ignore it. It's a little something called amortization. And please, don't let the boring name fool you. This isn't just some neutral payback schedule. It is a system specifically designed to be confusing. It's engineered from the ground up to make sure the bank gets its huge chunk of profit first, right at the beginning of your loan. Let's just look at your very first payment. You write a check for, let's say, $3,300. You'd think most of that goes to paying off your house, right? Wrong. A staggering $2,900 of it goes straight to the bank as pure profit. That's the interest. Only $400 measly actually goes to paying down your loan. You are literally paying 7 times more to the bank than you are to yourself. And this right here is the trap. For the first decade, a full 10 years, you build almost no meaningful equity. You are effectively just renting money from the bank. It feels like you have absolutely zero traction because, well, you're running on a treadmill made of financial quicksand. Okay, so that's the trap, but I'm not going to leave you there. It is time to shift gears from just understanding the problem to actually fighting back. There are 2 totally legal, totally mathematical weapons you can use to break the bank's algorithm. So yeah, the game is absolutely rigged against you, but that doesn't mean you have to be a loser. See, the banks, they hate these strategies. But here's the best part. They cannot stop you from using them. All right, let's get into it. Weapon number 1. I call it the bi-weekly hack. It's simple. Stop paying monthly. If you just split your monthly payment in half and pay that amount every 2 weeks, you'll end up making 26 half payments. And the math is beautiful. That equals 13 full payments a year. You sneak in 1 extra payment without even feeling it in your budget. And the results of this tiny little change in timing, they are staggering. You will slash 5 to 6 years clean off your 30-year mortgage. You will completely erase, on average, $140,000 in interest payments that would have just gone to the bank. And, get this, you do it all with zero change to your lifestyle. Now, weapon number 2 is the principal sniper. Whenever you get some extra cash, a bonus from work, a tax refund, whatever, don't just throw it at the mortgage. You have to force the bank's hand. You do this by clearly, explicitly labeling that payment principal only. This is so important. This simple action bypasses their entire default system and directly attacks your loan balance. And the leverage is huge. It saves you about $3 in future interest for every $1 you apply today. Look, these hacks are incredibly powerful tools for fighting a defensive war on a battlefield that the bank designed. But for those of you who are looking to build real wealth, it kind of begs a much bigger question. Why are you fighting on this battlefield at all? The fundamental problem with a traditional real estate investment is that it's illiquid. Your net worth is literally locked inside the walls of that house. Its value you can see on a piece of paper, but you can't access it, you can't spend it, you can't use it for the next big opportunity that comes along. You're just stuck. Yeah, you become chained to that one single property. If the local market crashes, you're trapped. If you have a surprise roof leak or a tenant lawsuit, you're trapped. Your capital is held hostage, totally unable to be deployed when a much better investment inevitably comes along. So, what's the alternative? It's a revolutionary concept called tokenization. Just think of it as a way to separate the 2 parts of real estate. You get the ownership and the potential for profit, the part you actually want, while completely avoiding the operational headaches like the debt, the toilets, the tenants, the parts you don't. It's ownership without the 30-year chain. Let's just contrast the two models. The old way is a dusty stack of mortgage papers, a physical set of keys, and this constant low-grade stress humming in the background. The new way? It's a clean, simple dashboard of digital tokens. It allows you to build a diversified portfolio of global assets, focusing only on the two things that actually matter, the yield and the appreciation. This is about a fundamental evolution in your thinking. It's about moving away from being a landlord who's bogged down by physical limitations and fighting for scraps, and becoming a true capital allocator, someone who is agile, diversified, and moving at the speed of the modern financial world. So here's the big takeaway. For a century, banks have sold you a 30-year debt note, and they've had the nerve to call it the American dream. It's not a dream, it's a product, and it's designed for their profit, not yours. So if you can now own pieces of the world's best properties without ever signing that 30-year contract, why would you ever play their game again?